for me, leadership became a way of life, but transparency became a bigger way of life as it related to my leadership, because I had to be transparent for people to see my authentic self, but also for me to be able to not pull punches, for me to not have to try and conform and comport myself in a way where somebody may wanted me to, but be able to tell my real truth. And so for me, transparency has propelled me in a number of ways. It's propelled me to be honest with you guys here today. It's propelled me to be an advocate. And I tell people all the time, so as hard as I used to fight in the streets, gang banging, as hard as I used to fight, and I was really good with these hands, let me fight for your children. Let me fight for your students. Let me fight so that your students have access to the things I didn't have access to.
We have a lot of people whose parents or teachers don't believe they can do a certain job. So my question is, how can they, if they can't find the motivation from their supervisors or teachers, what's their biggest motivation for being a thing that no one else believed that they could?
Okay, so there's a gospel song called "Encourage Yourself," and you know, in that song, it talks about being encouraged, and that's being encouraged externally by other people and being encouraged. But in that song, it also talks about at a point you have to encourage yourself. And for me, I think that it's important, you know, when you have an understanding about where you want to go, sometimes it's important to figure out how you want to get there, right? But in figuring out how you're going to get there, you may not have all those steps. Again, I told you earlier, you know, I didn't know all the steps and all the hoops that I would have to jump through to get to where I am. But I did know that intrinsically, I wanted to be at a certain place. And when I was discouraged by Mr. York, I knew that I had to dig into what was already in me, because I had people who already poured into me. I had people who already affirmed me. I had people who told me that I was meant for greater. Now, everybody's not going to have that experience where they're told that, because I had students who had a home life that was, you know, a challenge at best, that school was their respite. School was their safe haven. They would hang out in school because they didn't want to go home, because they didn't want to deal with the negative. They didn't want to deal with the drama. They didn't have a place to do their homework. They didn't have a place, a clean table to sit at. They had family members that were there that they didn't like and all that kind of stuff. And so I understand that my experience is not going to be everybody's experience. I think that, but I do think that it's important to latch on to the things and the people who are for you, right? You know, it may be that when you're hanging out, it may be a security guard officer who actually sees something in you and you know, is positive and gives you a word of encouragement, or a teacher who that you like, that's already poured into you and already told you that, you know, that you can do this, that, or the third. It can be your classmates and your friends. It can be the people that are in these little boxes on this computer screen that you lean to and that you lean on. It's important. It's important that we figure out our surroundings and our base.